Myself, G. Mahesh Kumar, Assistant Professor of Chemistry. Today's topic is environmental legislation, environmental impact assessment. In the short form, we call it as EIA. In the environmental sustainability, uh, today's topic we are going to discuss is environmental impact assessment. Environmental impact assessment. What are the topics covered under this EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment? Is what is EIA? What is introduction to EIA? What are the goals of EIA? What is the methodology, EIA methodology, and the benefits of EIA? Final conclusion. Before that, what actually the EIA is? Nothing but EIA is a Environment Impact Assessment. Environment Impact Assessment. Environment Impact Assessment. What is the definition of this? What is the definition of Environment Impact Assessment? Here it is the EIA is intended to prevent or minimize potentially adverse environmental impact and enhance the overall quality of project. EIA is intended to prevent or minimize the potential adverse environmental impact and enhance the overall quality of project. The main benefits and advantages of EIA are: what are the benefits of EIA is a lower project cost in long term. Okay, lowers the project cost in long term and increased project acceptance and improved project design. Lower project cost in long term, increased project acceptance, improved project design. Improved project design. Now, uh, environmental impact assessment is a procedure to plan some environmental activity with well-defined environmental goals. Okay, well-defined environmental goals so that damage due to activity both during the environmental stage and also during the production stage has minimum impact. Okay, here what actually the EIA explains: EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment, is a procedure to plan some environmental activity with well-defined environmental goals so that the damage due to the activity both during the development stage and the production stage has minimum impact on natural system and population in the area. Population in the area. Now, environmental National Environmental Policy Act (NEPA) USA in the year 1969 first of all provided the guidelines for environmental impact assessment through the Council of Environmental Quality (CEQ), Environmental Council for Environmental Quality. In India, the Gazette notification of EIA was issued in the year 1994. Okay, with wide which Ministry of Environment and Forest provided the guidelines for project proponents to have EIA and prepare an environmental impact statement prior to the clearance of the project. Okay, here in the notification of India Gazette, EIA has issued in year 1994, wide which the Ministry of Environment and Forest provided the guidelines for project proponents to have EIA and prepare an environmental impact statement prior to the enhanced clearance of the project. What are the goals of EIA? Here, to fulfill the responsibilities, goals are to fulfill the responsibilities towards the coming generation as a trustee of environment. Here, to fulfill the responsibilities towards the coming generation as a trustee of environment, to assure the safe, healthy, productive, aesthetically as well as culturally pleasing surroundings, to provide the widest range of beneficial uses of environment without degradation or risk to the health. Goals of EIA is to fulfill the responsibilities towards the coming generation as a trustee of environment, to assure the healthy, safe, productive, aesthetically as well as culturally pleasing surroundings, to provide the widest range of beneficial uses of environment without degradation or risk. Okay, To achieve the balance between the population and the resources used for the good standard of living, to preserve historical, cultural, national heritage, to ensure the sustainable development with minimal environmental degradation. To ensure the sustainable development with minimal environmental degradation. EIA clearance required. Here, the total EIA clearance required for 32 categories of developmental works broadly categorized into the following sectors. One is mining sector, thermal power plant sector, river valley, infrastructure, road, highway, ports, harbor, airports, industries including the large number of small electroplating on foundry units. Okay, these are the sectors like mining sector, thermal power plant, river valley, infrastructure, industries including the very small electroplating or foundry units. Certain activities are permissible under the Coastal Regulation Zone 1991 also require similar clearance. Okay, what is EIA methodology? The basic steps followed in EIA are: first one, screening, scoping, baseline, data, and the fourth one is impact identification. Fifth, the prediction, evolution, mitigation, EIS preparation, review and environment audit, involving the public participation at various stages. Okay, these are the methodology involves. First one is screening followed by scoping. Next, baseline data. Next, impact identification, prediction, prediction, evaluation, mitigation. Okay, all this is a methodology. EIS preparation, and review and environment audit involving the public participation at various stages. First, here this is charting shows that proposal for identification. EIA required initial environmental examination, no EIA. Scoping required scoping, impact analysis, mitigation and impact management, EIA report. Next review. Decision making, if it is approved, implementation and follow up. If it is not approved, redesign and resubmit. Okay, this is the proposal for environmental impact assessment. Proposal identification, first screening. If EIA required environmental examination, no EIA, then again EIA required. Scoping for public involvement, impact analysis, mitigation and impact management, EIA report, again reviewing decision making, not approved, approved, implementation. First, coming to the screening, it is done to see whether the project needs EIA for clearance or not. Further, there are some prohibited areas where generally development projects are not allowed, like coastal regulation zone, CRZ, we call it as coastal regulation zone, Danu Taluka in Maharashtra, and Aravali Range, Reserve Forest, etc. Scoping. Next is after the screening, there is scoping. It involves a determination of extent of EA required for the project. Determination of extent of EA required for the project. Depending upon the project, basically there are two types of EAs has been carried out. When EA report is based on single reason data other than monsoon period, it is called rapid EIA. When EIA report is based on the detailed seasonal data, it is called comprehensive EIA. Okay, baseline data. Here it gives a holistic picture of overall environmental setting of project location, showing significant items prior to initiation of action. Any potential critical environmental changes and information about the site to decision makers and reviewers who might unfamiliar with the general location of the project area. The following environmental parameters are usually considered while preparing the baseline data: site location and topography. Regional demography, population distribution within 10 to 50 kilometer radius, land use and water use pattern. Regional landmarks like historical, cultural heritage in area for their archaeological or state register can be checked. Geology, landforms, soil type, landscape, etc. are studied. Hydrology, groundwater and surface water resources are quantified. Water quality, population sources, meteorological temperature extremes, wind speed, direction, dew point, atmospheric stability, rainfall, rainfall, storms, etc. are recorded. Ecology, flora and fauna, endangered species, successional stage can be enlisted. For particular project, some of the parameters may be important, while for some others, parameters could be important. Impact identification. Okay, here it includes the details of project characters and baseline environmental characters. Okay, it includes the details of project characteristics and the baseline environmental characteristic to ensure the identification of full range of environmental impact. During the identification process, positive and negative, direct and indirect, significant and insignificant impacts are considered. Okay, during identification, what you are going to do, positive and negative and direct and indirect significance and insignificant impacts are considered. Impact prediction. Here, magnitude of change is going to occur due to the project is predicted by using the mathematical models or mass balance models. Okay, here mathematical models are mass balance models. Impact in evolution is done by considering the cost and the benefits of the project. Long-term effects and side effects of the project are also evaluated. Indirect valuation of environmental parameters are also done. Example, loss of rare species, degradation of lakes, etc. Long-term effects and side effects of the project is also evaluated. Indirect evaluation of environmental parameters also done. Example, loss of rare species, degradation. Mitigation. In the mitigation, once the impacts are predicted and evaluated, mitigation measures to be suggested to avoid, reduce, rectify the adverse changes due to the project. Review and draft impact statement is prepared at this stage. Decision analysis. Public participation is involved by arranging group of discussions or by adopting the questioning method to arrive to decision about the project and its evolution. Mitigation, decision, evolution. Environmental impact statement (EIS). Based on the data obtained and review suggestions, a final EIS prepared per data the format provided by the Ministry of Environment and Forest in our country. Environment impact assessment statement is clearly mentions objectives of the project. It's environment impact that unavoidable, mitigation measures to measure minimize impacts, alternatives to be proposed, except action, etc. Environment audit. Okay, it compares the impact predicted in EIS before the project was started and actual impacts after the implementation of the project. Okay, it will the audit will compare the impacts predicted in EIS before the project was started and actual the impact after the implementation of the project. Externalities of EIA. There are two types of externalities. One is positive externalities, positive externalities, and negative negative externalities. Okay, externalities of EI impact, environmental impact assessment. What is positive externalities? Okay, here new job generated, economic growth stimulated, growth of local business enterprises supported, development of supporting and complementary industries, influx of capital and disposable income. Negative externalities, social impacts on health of local population, increase in crime and deviant behavior, additional pressure on existing physical infrastructure like sewage, water supply, etc., decline in community cohesion, changed cultural values. Environmental impacts, depletion of natural resources, destruction of habitats, change in pH, oxygen level, toxicity of water, increase in toxicity of air, global warming, increasing the temperature of the globe, ozone depletion, depleting ozone, benefits of conducting EIA. The facilities of farm decision making by providing clear, well structured, disproportionate analysis of effect and consequences of a proposed project, pre-exemption of early withdrawal of unsound proposals, assistance in selection of best practicable and most environmental friendly option, results in the best practice prediction and mitigation of adverse effects of project. Influence both the project selection and design by the screening out environmental unsound projects as well as modify feasible project mitigation of native environmental and social impacts, guide formal approval including the establishment of terms, conditions of the project implementation and follow-up, mitigation of negative environmental and social impacts, severe adaptive and organizational learning process in which lessons of the experience are feedback into the policy, institutional and project design, enhancement of positive aspects. Conclusion of this EIA, environmental impact assessment. Here, in this conclusion, environmental impact assessment is a very beneficial step to check whether a project is environmental friendly or not. Okay, here what actually this is, environmental impact assessment is a very beneficial step to check whether the project is environmental friendly or not, since economic development is a result of interaction between the natural resources and technology supported by design people. So all the human activity should be economic, social, and environment friendly. Environment conclude here, social activities result of interaction between the natural resources and technology supported by the design for the people. So all the human activity should be economic, social, and environmental friendly. The references we are going to use for this environmental sustainability is Margaret and Robertson Margaret Sustainability Principles and Practices, Routledge, Taylor and Francis Group 2017. Responsibility for teaching sustainability in context general of sustainability education. Okay, these are the two references. Robertson Margaret Sustainability Principles and Practices, Routledge, Taylor and Francis Group 2017, Responsibility for Teaching Sustainability in Context, General of Sustainability Education. These are the two references we are going to for the environmental sustainability. Thank you.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.